Welcome to the News Flash Show. I'm Robert Reese. This is episode 3. Very excited, trying something new here with the green screen. We're going to see how it goes. So coming up later, I'm going to give you my thoughts on the movie The Man from U.N.C.L.E. I'll give you my movie review on that. Plus, I'll also have my thoughts on my Soapbox. It's a good one today. It's a good one. All right, let me get started, though, with headlines and punchlines. All right, so first of all, the EPA accidentally spilled millions of gallons of toxic waste into the Colorado River. Yeah, it sounds like the EPA is just spreading their BS to me. All right, continue on here. When they spilled this toxic waste into the Colorado River, now Colorado and New Mexico have both declared a state of emergency after this toxic spill. Yeah, I agree. The EPA is definitely a disaster. All right, and then finally here, the Navajo Nation now says it's going to sue over this EPA spill. Yeah, and all they're asking for is the entire western United States. It's not too much, right? It's not too much to ask for. All right. In other headlines and punchlines, Sesame Street will now air the next 5 seasons initially on HBO instead of PBS. That's right. So now it's going to be on paid television. So not only are they screwing taxpayers now, they're now screwing the low-income household. Yeah. Low-income children now getting screwed as well. Yeah, so for the next 5 seasons, since Sesame Street will be on HBO, the shows will be brought to you by the letters F and U. All right. So with them moving to HBO, and you're thinking, what is HBO known for? All right, they're known for their programming, like how about like True Detective, right? Great show. How about Game of Thrones? Great show, right? But all these shows have something in common: nudity, right? So with Sesame Street now going to HBO, great news in case you wanted to see the Muppets nude, right? Or maybe not. Kind of disgusting, actually. All right, continuing on here. Other headlines and punchlines. There's wildfires that have been raging in California, and it's creating concerns of what would happen if the wildfires reach marijuana fields. Well, I can tell you what will happen. First, it's going to be widespread panic, followed by a nice, relaxing calm, and then slight paranoia. Ohio, speaking of marijuana, Ohio is going to vote on legalizing marijuana in November, which is kind of an unfair vote if you think about it, because this is right around the time that Browns fans are ready for some sort of relief. Yeah. All right. Continue on here. More drug news. The DEA chief, the head of the Drug Enforcement Administration, the DEA chief said that pot is probably not as bad as heroin. Probably not as bad as heroin. But based on his experience, it's way better than crack. All right. And speaking of more drugs, holy smokes, I don't know. There's a theme today. William Shakespeare might have been stoned while writing plays. Yeah. This dude dressed guys up as girls in the 1500s. I think it's pretty safe to say he was stoned a lot. 90% of Americans, the headlines and punchlines, 90% of Americans now have health insurance. Yeah. The rest, like me, say, "You'll never catch me alive!" Wait a minute. That's not good. Oh, well. It is what it is. Freedom. Freedom. That's what it's about. All right. Cecil the Lion male cub. Remember Cecil the Lion. This is the lion that was killed in Zimbabwe. Created a big firestorm. So the male cub, his male cub, was killed by Cecil's brother. Yeah, I'm going to blame the mom on this one. I mean, she should have sent him off to live with a muskrat and a warthog. Everybody knows that. All right, continue on here. Other headlines and punchlines right here on the Newsflash Show. The Connecticut Supreme Court has decided to end capital punishment. Unless, of course, you're totally innocent and not born yet. That's okay. Kind of sad, actually, but I guess that wasn't really funny. Oh, well. Continue on here. A new memory erasing drug. Yes, we're back to drugs. Okay. A new memory erasing drug is supposed to help meth addicts stop relapsing. Yeah. It can also help keep what happened in Vegas stay in Vegas. So there's that positive. You know what this new memory erasing drug sounds like something that Bill Cosby would use. Can also have helped him from getting in big trouble like this. Also sounds like something that Hillary Clinton used on her email servers, or at least now wish she used on her email servers. Speaking of Hillary Clinton, she has introduced a $350 billion plan to make college affordable. Boy, she really is rich if she thinks $350 billion is affordable. That's crazy. In other headlines and punchlines here, New Hampshire has banned ballot selfies. They've decided that they are unconstitutional. So you can no longer take a selfie while you're in the ballot box. That's right. They consider it unconstitutional because it's like a poll tax, keeping 20-year-olds from voting. If I can't take a selfie, well, I'm not going to go vote. I don't know. All right, and then other headlines and punchlines. A 67-year-old man is recovering after fighting off a bear. The bear replied, "Oh, I thought we were just playing patty cake. My bad." And then finally here in headlines and punchlines, a North Carolina woman says that she was attacked by an axe-wielding clown. All right, there's no joke here. I just want to give you nightmares. Check out the clown. All right, when we come back here, we'll have the movie review, where I'll share with you my thoughts on the movie, The Man from U.N.C.L.E. Welcome back to the News Flash Show. I'm Robert Reese, host of the News Flash Show, and we just had headlines and punchlines. Now it's time for my movie review. And this week's movie review is The Man from U.N.C.L.E. Now, I know a lot of critics are lambasting this movie, but I gotta tell you, overall, I love Guy Ritchie. Always like Guy Ritchie with Lock, Stock, and Two Smoking Barrels and Snatch, his reboot of Sherlock Holmes. So there's no way I was gonna miss this movie in the theater. And in my opinion, I don't care what the critics say. This movie was a Guy Ritchie masterpiece. It was fantastic. It was exciting. Look, I'm already a huge fan of his work, admittingly, but this is different. It didn't have the same grittiness that his old movies had, or his other movies have had. It had a kind of a tongue-in-cheek feel to it. In fact, to me, I would describe it as a tongue-in-cheek spy movie. I thought it was fantastic. I thought the action scenes were great. I thought the cinematography was very creative. I thought I just thought it was funny. I thought it was great. So, The Man from U.N.C.L.E., I think was a fun cat and mouse spy movie. Now, the movie is about an American spy and a Russian KGB agent who are forced to work together to save the world from a nuclear threat by a criminal enterprise. They recruit a young lady to get to her father because he was recruited by Nazi scientists to forcefully make a nuclear bomb. So you get the three of these together trying to become this team, and I thought it was fantastic. All right, so now, if you are a Christian, you want to know the Christian perspective on this, there is a partial nude scene where you see a young woman's bare back and she's wearing skimpy panties, and then she turns and you can kind of see side boob right there. So that is in the movie. And there's also a few curse words in there, including the P word. So for the Christian perspective, keep that in mind. It is PG-13. And then as far as extra stingers, extra credits at the end of the movie, at the very beginning of the credits, they have kind of a dossier of the different characters of the spies' dossier, like their history and their skills and stuff like that. And that's pretty neat to watch. It only lasts about 2 minutes. After that, there's nothing else in the credits and no stinger at the end. So overall, The Man from U.N.C.L.E., to me, it's a Guy Ritchie masterpiece. Fantastic film. Go check it out in theaters. Coming up next, we'll have my Soapbox right here on the Newsflash Show. I'm Robert Reese. Hey, welcome back to the Newsflash Show. I'm Robert Reese. Just gave you my movie review on The Man from U.N.C.L.E. Now it's time for Soapbox. Now, Soapbox is kind of where I rant about things that bothered me throughout the week. And this week, it's about Lambert's. Lambert's Cafe, home of the throwed rolls. Now, let me give you a little background, first of all, on this. I love Lambert's Cafe. I grew up in West Tennessee. We used to drive a few hours just to go visit Lambert's in Sikeston, Missouri. There's only 3 of these available. There's one in Sikeston, Missouri, there's one in Ozark, Missouri, and there's one in Foley, Alabama. And so I used to go there. I used to take dates there. Like, we're going on a date. Like, where do you want to go? We're like, well, we're going to take you to Lambert's. Like, where's Lambert's? Like, it's about 3.5 hours away. No big deal. They're like, 3.5 hours away? We're like, it's worth it. Believe me, it's totally worth it. This place is called Home of the Throwed Rolls because they have these massive rolls that they come out of the oven, and they just yell out, hot rolls, and then all you got to do is raise your hand, and they'll throw you a hot roll. It's as simple as that, and it's so fun. If you drop the roll, they'll throw you another one. If you drop that one, they're going to come over there and ridicule you and hand you the roll by hand. They have massive drinks. They have massive salads. Look, the salad is so big, okay, that you're like, you know what, I'm going to eat something light. I just want a salad. Then they bring you out a salad where the bowl is a bread bowl that you could literally fit on top of your head. And then I think they take an entire iceberg lettuce and shred it up for the salad. So these things are enormous over there. It's good country style cooking, right? Well, the reason why I have this as my soapbox is because there was somebody who went to one. I saw this article. Somebody went to one, went to Ozark, got hit in the head with one of the throwed rolls and decided to sue them for $25,000. Now, you got to understand, their website is not Lamberts.com. Their website is throwedrolls.com. They are known for throwing rolls at people. You go to this restaurant, you better have your head on a swivel if you don't want to get hit in the head with a throwed roll. Well, this person is claiming that they had like a torn retina or something like that because they got hit in the head with a roll. And so they're suing for 25 grand on this. Are you kidding me? Look, there's a big movement around America right now of Black Lives Matter because of different black individuals who have gotten shot by cops. This is going to start a whole new movement of wussies lives matter. I mean, give me a break with this. With the complaining that you got hit in the head with a roll. Now, I thought one thing here too. All right, so when I first saw this, I got to admit, I was pretty upset. Because I'm concerned that with this lawsuit, it's going to affect Lambert's, that they might stop throwing rolls. If they stop throwing rolls, that makes it not as fun. I was afraid that even if Lambert's has to pay it out and go, fine, we'll pay this out. That's going to start a trend of other wusses going to Lambert's, getting hit with rolls, and then crying and suing Lambert's. Lambert's also does things where they play practical jokes on you all the time, too. Like, you'll just be sitting there, and a waiter will walk by, and he'll have a pitcher of water, and he'll stumble and pretend like he's going to spill it on you. Turns out the pitcher's empty. What, we're going to have wussy starting to sue because you scared them to death? I'm sorry. I got to sue Lambert's. Why? Well, it scared me. I was in there, and the guy pretended like he was going to throw water on me, and then it didn't, but I still was scared. I mean, wussies' lives matter. It's going to start a movement. Hashtag wussies' lives matter. All right, now here's the thing, though. So when I first saw this, I was upset because, like I said, I love Lambert's. I mean, my family right now, we don't live near one. We've driven 6 hours to go to one still. That's how much we like it, okay? When I met my wife, we went and, we're dating. I'm getting to know her. I go down to visit where her family. She's introducing me to her family, and I'm thinking, this might be the one. I don't know. I go down to visit where she's from. She is from Gulf Shores, Alabama. So lo and behold, that is like 20 minutes away from Foley, Alabama, which is where Lambert's is. And I drove by that. I was like, you guys have a Lambert's down here? She was like, yeah, it was built like a couple years ago. Oh my gosh, we're going to get married. Because that means every time we go to family reunions, every time we visit her family, that means I get to go to Lambert's. It's like a no-brainer. So I love Lambert's. So when I saw this on, I think it was a Fox News article, says, this is what the article said, man suing restaurant with throwed rolls. I knew what it was about. I knew it was Lambert's. And then when I skimmed through it real quick, it's like, guy got hit in the head and is upset, so he's suing him for 25 gur. And I was like, oh no. My initial reaction, no lie, I immediately posted on Facebook, was somebody immediately, no hesitation, take this person outside and give them a real beating. Like, kick in the head beating, like curb stomp beating. And like, I just went off, right, on this whole thing. So that's how I felt initially. I'm like, okay, seriously, I'm not going to like curb stomp somebody for suing a restaurant for getting hit in the head with the roll, right? I mean, that's ridiculous. I mean, I kick them in the groin, but I wouldn't curb stomp them. So it was initial reaction though, right? Then like the next day I wake up and I realize that this Fox News article had a typo. It wasn't a man who's suing the restaurant. It was a woman. And I immediately thought, oh my gosh, I got to get rid of my post. My post is talking about curb stomping a woman. My post is talking about beating somebody practically to death because they sued Lambert's. And I thought, I can't do that. I sound like a sexist. I need to pull that post off. And then all of a sudden I realized something even greater. I have a double standard. I would treat women differently than men. It kind of made me sad. And I realized I need to change my ways and start treating women more equally. I shouldn't delete my post just because I found out it was a woman. No, that would be wrong of me to do that. I need to have equal rights. If a man's gonna sue Lambert, and I think he deserves a curb stomping, then I should do the same thing to a woman, right? It's only logical and only reasonable. I'm getting in deep, aren't I? I better just stop right here. That's my soapbox for the week. Don't sue! Stop our sue-happy society. It's getting ridiculous. This is the Newsflash Show. Hashtag Newsflash to share your thoughts and be part of the show. All right, coming up next, I'll share with you this week's sign of the apocalypse. As if that wasn't it already, right? All right, welcome back to the Newsflash Show. I'm Robert Reese, your host. And this week's sign of the apocalypse is how we end up. So let's go ahead and start with this week's sign of the apocalypse. All right, this week's sign of the apocalypse. It's kind of it's kind of a fun one, but it's just like politically correctness gone mad. Okay, Target or Target, as a good friend of mine calls them. Target has now decided that they will no longer have boys and girls toys separate. Nope, they can't have separate girls toys and separate boys toys anymore. They're all going to be mixed and jumbled up. So now you're going to go look for a toy for your kid, and you're going to be looking for, I don't know, a princess doll. And so the princess doll, you're going to go over there, and it's going to be mixed in there amongst the Transformers, and amongst the cars, and amongst the G.I. Joes. I don't know how you're going to find a toy there. All they're doing is guaranteeing people will not shop there for Christmas. Can you imagine going there for Christmas, and you're like, you know what, I need to go there, and I get this, and I got to get this, and I got to get this. Where can I go get it? They're going to go to the toy section. They're like, okay, great. And you go to the toy section, you go, okay, where in the toy section is the baby dolls? And I go, I don't know, we got them kind of scattered here or there. Okay, where's the toy cars? I need to get my son a toy car. They're just somewhere in there. Just go find them. This is absolutely ridiculous. The idea that men and women are absolutely the same is preposterous. And just because a little girl doesn't want to play with little girl toys doesn't mean that she feels excluded because she goes to the boys section to buy toys. It's absolutely insane. That's this week's sign of the apocalypse. It's just madness gone to the brain, and it all begins with this. I get it. People are trying to say, look, people will need to choose their gender and stuff like this, and now Target's jumping on board with it, and I think it's absolutely crazy. Let me put it this way: when I brought this up to my 11-year-old son, he heard me talking to somebody about this. He went, "Wait a minute. Are you telling me that when I want to go look for the boy toys, Transformers, I want to look for WWE, I have to go look through girls' stuff to find my stuff?" I was like, yeah, possibly. And my 11-year-old was like freaking out, like, this is ridiculous. That's dumb. He just said, that's dumb. And so that's about as eloquent as you can get. So I probably better just stop there. That's this week's Sign of the Apocalypse. Thanks for joining me. This is the Newsflash Show. Join me again next week. Be sure to subscribe. Oh, I forgot about that. Be sure to subscribe. Subscribe. That's what this is all about, is subscriptions. You know what? I blame the mom on this one. She should have sent him off to live with a muskrat and I forgot what the rest of the joke. All right. So I blame this one. Let me try it again. See, man, she really is rich if she thinks $350 billion is affordable. I kind of fumbled my words right there. Let me try that again. Hillary Clinton. In other headlines of punchlines here, New Hampshire has banned a